Showing off my new slim trim and my wonderfully coiffured head and beard in the Turkish barbers yesterday, I want to talk about car dealers and estate agents. The two people who are often seen, two groups of service people, salespeople, are often seen as less than reputable, to put it politely. Car dealers, would throw the granny under a bus for a deal to reach that target, allegedly, and they're in a high-pressured environment where they've got to meet those sales volumes every month. And I can understand the pressure that I'd face, when people have got so much choice of where to go for a car and different manufacturers. And it's the same with estate agencies. They're selling a service. They're trying to get you to sell a house with them. And again, it's a saturated market where you can walk down any high street in England, Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland and find 5, 10, 15, 20 or more estate agencies all clustered together in shiny polyester suits and branded minis. But they've often got something in common. Not all of them. There are two estate agencies around here who buck the trend, I've got excellence running through them like a stick of Great Yarmouth Rock. Just made that one up. It's good, isn't it? But the others can be quite mediocre. In my opinion. And you might say, well, you're an arrogant sod. What an arrogant statement to make. But it does come from experience of selling and buying around here. And some of the lies I've been told by estate agents, and then when you come to sell, you get that begging bowl of, would you sell with us? No, you lied last time. Why would I sell with you? But going first to car dealers, not all car dealers are equal. Some are better than others. And I would like to start off by giving a shout out to Dean Aldous and Anthony Williams, nearly forgot his name, because they've left Lister's BMW and Lister's Mini in Kings Lynn, and Sean Gregory, the business manager, and Johnny Spinks. Now, these people have excellence written through them like a stick of Kings Lynn rock, if there is such a thing, Hunstanton rock. Because what they did to me 4 years ago was something that's etched on my memory. I, in a fit of impatience, decided to buy a Mini Countryman Cooper S, top of the range, sunroof, chili pack, tech pack, whatever pack, media pack I could get in there, I squeezed in because we were going to go to one car. So the boat was being firmly pushed out, and I was going to buy this Cooper S 2 litre. And I thought, wow, this car will do me for at least a year because I'm a serial car buyer and seller. But circumstances changed, and instead of dropping from 2 cars to 1 car, to cut a long story short, I changed my mind. I'd paid the deposit, I'd ordered the car, it was a factory order, and I felt a bit stupid ringing them up. I was embarrassed and apologetic, ringing them up and saying, can I cancel the order? Now, most car dealers would be like, oh God, it's been factory made for you, no, you'll lose £500. But these weren't. They were disappointed, obviously. The sale's been missed. But they didn't come around with a shotgun or a rope like in America, in Texas, and lead me through the streets of Kings Lynn tied up, shouting abuse at me, saying go back home to Doncaster, in an American Make America Great Again way, bit of politics. But no, they accepted it and they refunded my deposit. And it sticks with you. The customer service like that sticks with you. So then, when circumstances changed again, I decided to buy a car. There's only one place to go. I drive past Coopers in Norwich, BMW, not because they're particularly bad, but just because I've found somewhere that's particularly good. To Kings Lynn every time, 73 miles, an hour and a half trek, to buy cars, because I know the customer service there is exceptional. Just watching the neighbour, what they're doing. I think they're going to paint half the gate, hopefully, the other half that they've done. But estate agents can either be the ones who'll take £500 off you and leave you in the lurch, or they can be like Listers in Kings Lynn. And some are very good, some are excellent. Now, our philosophy at Nest in Essex and Nest in Norfolk, the partner companies that I'm a part of, I'm the partner agent for Nest in Norfolk, wearing another hat, a badge. We don't have tie-ins. So if someone comes to us and says, can you value the property, like we've got our first commercial property in Great Yarmouth, that's 750 grand a unit, that's suitable for redevelopment or use, commercial use, you could easily get 10 or 12 houses on there. No word of a lie. When I look at what's gone on in the Archers and next to Tesco Express in Bradwell in Great Yarmouth, you could get 10 to 12 houses on there, and it's in a prime residential location backing onto the River Bure. There are some decent gaffs along there. But I wouldn't go to David after 2 weeks and say, he changed his mind and says, look, circumstances have changed, I want to take it off the market. I wouldn't say, but you're on for 6 months, David. Tough. Suck it. sick it in C, I'd say, yeah, that's fair enough. I'll take it off the market. I'd lose my time, you know, the time spent on it. I'd lose money for the photography and so on, the professional photography we've invested in. But you chalk it up as a learning curve. And what would happen, I'm sure with David and with others who you don't tie in, is after reconsidering, after a period of readjustment, they'll come to you in the future. And this is why I decided to step back into estate agency, because 2 people have come to me in the last year and said to me, are you still in estate agency? I'd like to sell my house with you, because I sold their houses before. So it's a bit like Nick talks about having a family doctor, having a shop you're shopping. Why not have a family estate agent? And it's a bit like that. And this is why we're trying to be different. I've got a friend who's 4 months into a contract, a 6-month contract with an estate agent locally, who'd been bought out by a national firm. Should not be too difficult to suss out who. And he's had 1 viewer in 4 months. This chap turned up barefoot. These are his words. Turned up barefoot, walked down the drive, viewed it. He'd not been qualified or anything, and obviously he can't afford shoes. So how's he going to afford a 600 grand house? You'd ask. But they've had nothing, and I've said to them, well, do you fancy trying me? And they said, we're tied in. Now, they're unlikely after 6 months to say, go on then, you've done a bloody good job getting that barefoot buyer in. Here's another 6 months. Thanks, I'll recommend you to all my friends and family. They're likely to be pissed off and say to other people, don't use them, they tie you in. They weren't very good. And that's my point I'm making, that tie-ins work for no one except the estate agent. You might say, well, I'm giving them a chance. You're giving the estate agent a chance. You know, give them a fair crack of the whip. But then look at other things like your photography, look at the price, look at the social media marketing, the way it's positioned on Rightmove, and giving it a freshen up. And you might change estate agents. It might be the price, it might be the photography, or you might bite the bullet and say, yeah, fair dues, I've changed estate agents. But I guarantee that if you are selling a house in Essex, Suffolk, or Norfolk, and you ask me to turn up and value, I won't overvalue to get that listing. You know, I'm not on commission for getting listings. I'm not on a purple bricks model where I get a fee for securing that listing, regardless of whether it sells or not. I'm not on that. I only get paid commission, the percentage commission, when it sells. I don't charge anything up front. I don't charge anything to get Matthew Clark out to your property and do that. I don't charge anything for the copywriting, for you to go on Rightmove, for you to go on the market, for you to go on 2 websites, for you to be boosted for hundreds of pounds locally, because I'm taking a risk that I will be able to sell, because in the future I want people to say, try Destin Norfolk, try that Stuart Walton. He is a bit of jack of all trades. He's certainly got the gift of the gab. He designs websites and he does copywriting, but try him. We changed our mind after 3 weeks, but he was really cool with it. He was really, you know, he was disappointed, he said that. But he was really cool with it. And he said, oh, if you want to sell in the future, call me back. Try him. Here's his number. He's got a good online presence. He's got a lot of Facebook followers. Try Nesting Norfolk, try Nesting Essex, because that is what good marketing, relationship marketing, should look like, in my humble opinion. And the other thing is, if you're selling a house elsewhere in the country, by all means use a local agent who won't tie you in. But if you want a second opinion from me, I can do comparables and look at your house. I've got quite a keen eye of property prices. I've written about them for so many estate agents, area guides and so on, and property comparables for years. I've got quite a keen eye, and we have got one coming up in Failsworth in Manchester, where they've chosen Nesting Norfolk, so there's a rush now to get the for sale board designed instead of a local estate agency, because they trust me. And if it doesn't work after a month, I might say, well, we'll try another one. And I'm going to say, thanks for trying me, okay? But I won't make anything out of it other than enhancing my reputation. And that's what it's all about. Just as listers in Kings Lynn have enhanced their reputation by the way they treated me, how does your estate agency treat you?